All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you made it this far, thank you very much. But you may have noticed some technical difficulties in our broadcast tonight. And right now, you likely are watching a recorded broadcast. Joined partway through, this is Matt Canizaro. Not quite live here at the National Bowling Stadium. We've got 10 great players here with some collegiate experience from the Wichita area. Definitely a future for the sport, trying to establish themselves on the biggest stage in bowling here at the USBC Open Championships. We're behind lanes 19 and 20 at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. As we get towards the end of the USBC Open Championships, we'll have details on all these players coming up in just a minute. Stay tuned, sit back and enjoy some great bowling. All right, so the team event this year, relatively low scoring at the National Bowling Stadium. 3,300 is the number to beat with just 1 month to go in the 2016 event. BowlingDynamics.com, 5 players age 50 and older. Games of 1041, 1154, and 1105 for 3,300 even. Right now to make the top 10, just under 3,200. A tie for 10th at 3,184. So definitely some attainable scores if you're coming in and looking at the leaderboard. Our 10 players today, again, all with ties to the Wichita area. We'll have the details on them all in just a minute. But Ashley Bright, Caitlin Quinn, Leela Yaya, Derek Lewis, Colton Rischetti, Zach Rhodes, Justin Zwaszka, Brent Bowers, Mitch Hupe, and Kris Prather. All right, we're going to pretend like this is the real deal. So, I do appreciate everybody tuning in, and I know the Prather family and Brent's mom as well, Mrs. Bowers, checking in from Wichita, hoping for a show tonight. Hopefully the guys and ladies will be able to put that on. Create a little bit of excitement here, some buzz. Had some big scores today in doubles for sure. Two sets of folks made a run at the lead. Earlier this morning, Michael Marcus of Tafton, Pennsylvania, Shea Bittenbender from St. Charles, Missouri, former Lindenwood player, moved into third place with a 13:53 doubles total. That was short-lived, however, as one squad later, Deontay Fields and Matt Freiberg put together some big numbers, 469, 480, and they came up in the 10th frame of the last game, both needing doubles to give themselves a chance at the top spot. Great shot there by Prather to tomahawk the 10, but Fields and Freiberg came up short in the 10th, finished with 1377, moved into second place overall. Marcus and Bittenbender dropping down to fourth. This year's doubles leaders, Greg Thomas and Chris Hill, holding on for another day. And it's been a little while since we've seen some big scores in the team event. Just last week, a top 5 performance from former PBA standout Steve Wilson and his crew, 32-24 to get into 5th place. Again, right now, bowlingdynamics.com leading at 3,300. All right, so we are settled in now. The back half of game number 1. We've got a special guest for you coming up, perhaps in game 2. Save those details for you for just a minute. Let's take a look at our two teams right now. We've got North Rock Lanes and BowersBowlingTour.com. So they're on lane 19. Ashley Bright, just her second appearance here at the USBC Open Championships. Former Lindenwood Lion as well. And she is engaged to Chris Prather. So there's that connection. Again, her second tournament. Last year, her debut in El Paso, Texas. Looking to improve on that performance here in 2016. And keeping with the romantic theme on tonight's broadcast, we have Caitlin Quinn making her first appearance at the USBC Open Championships. She bowled at Bellarmine. She is engaged to Brent Bowers, and a two-time member of Junior Team USA. So a lot of talent. And nice opportunity for these future lifelong mixed doubles partners to have the opportunity to compete here on the biggest stage at the National Bowling Stadium. Another first-timer, Yaya, former Wichita State bowler. Pretty special to have your debut at the Open Championships here on Bowl TV. Welcome to the OC, Leela. Hopefully we'll see you for many, many years to come. Derek Lewis, born and raised in Wichita, a local standout. His fourth appearance here at the OC. Nice performance the last couple of years. 1921 here at the NBS in 2014. 1886 in El Paso last year on a pretty challenging couple of conditions. And he capped that off with a 7-18 set in singles, 7-19 the year before. So not saying he's not a team player, had 653 in 2014. And off to a pretty good start here in 2016. Colton Ruschetti also making his debut here at the Open Championships. Wichita State student looking to make his Shocker debut as well during the 2016 and 17 collegiate season. And what a history that program has. And for Bowers, bowlingtour.com. Zach Rose was a member of the 2015 Intercollegiate Team Championship winner, Wichita State Shockers. That team, of course, included Open Championships celebrity Matt McNeil as he returned to college for his master's degree. Those two guys helped the team to unprecedented heights in 2015. Double-digit national championships for the Shockers at the ITC. Justin Zwaszka, part of that team as well. And making his second appearance here at the OC. Debut came in 2014 with a 1928 all events total. Did not bowl in 2015, but back at it here with Brent Bowers and company. So that brings us to Mitch Hoope, a Canadian standout, member of junior and adult Team USA, or I'm sorry, Team Canada, and part of that 2015 ITC championship as well. His second appearance, debut came last year in El Paso, 1908. For the two guys of the hour, Bowers and Prather, they finished third in regular doubles last year at the USBC Open Championships, again on a couple challenging conditions in El Paso. Looking to make some noise here in 2016. Bowers, the 2011 Chuck All-Star of Tomorrow. Also a two-time Junior Team USA member, two-time national champion with Wichita State back in 2008 and 2010. Bowers, a hard-working guy at North Rock Lanes, keeping things running there. And North Rock, very familiar site for top USBC events in 2016. The Intercollegiate Team and Singles Championships held there, as well as the recent PWBA Wichita Open. And you can find the finals for that event coming up on CBS Sports Network. Just visit pwba.com for details on that event and get a look inside North Rock Lanes. If you visit the Bowl TV archives of that event, the finals will be taped for delayed broadcast coming up in Green Bay at the end of the month. So PWBA season, very unique and exciting. 3 events held in 3 different bowling centers. And then all the TV shows taped on site at the next major. We recently had the first 3 events of the PWBA season take place in Las Vegas, Roanoke Park, California, and Sacramento, with the TV shows being taped alongside the USBC Queens in Las Vegas. So you'll see those shows airing on Tuesday nights on CBS Sports Network. First one was this past Tuesday. Next one coming up on the 14th. And then the PWBA Wichita Open at North Rock, held the first week of June, kick things off for the second swing of the PWBA season. We'll have the Pepsi PWBA Lincoln Open this weekend, followed by the Greater Detroit Open next week. And then all three of those TV shows will be taped alongside the Go Bowling PWBA Player Championship in Green Bay. So keep an eye on CBS Sports Network on Tuesday nights. But right now, it is all about the USBC Open Championships here on Bowl TV. We're getting close to the end of game number 1. More about Bowers, his 7th USBC Open Championships appearance, so he's the veteran of the group. And his high all events total came last year in El Paso, 1958. Again, a third place doubles finish with Prather. They shot 13.95. They also had a 15th place finish in team with 31.85, so a lot of potential here for this talented group. And for Prather, very familiar with the National Bowling Stadium, finished second in singles back in 2011, his debut. 8.18. He opened that event with 6.49 in teams, 6.89 in doubles, and then 8.18 in singles for a runner-up finish. And a 21.56 all events total. So in his 5 previous years now, 3 years of 2,000 or better. High 1900 last year, 1986. Overall average for his 5 previous appearances, 222.3. Former Wichita State player as well. Got a couple PBA regional titles, most recently winning the PBA Wichita Southwest Open at North Rock Lanes. So it all ties back together. So do the PBA, PWBA Open Championships. And just a lot of great bowling going on right now. And we do appreciate everybody giving us some of your time here on Bowl TV. This is Matt Cannizzaro, and you're watching the 5 p.m. team event here at the 2016 USBC Open Championships. We're 1 month away from conclusion. It's hard to believe. We kick things off on March 5th, and we'll have 129 consecutive days of competition before we say goodbye and pack our things and head down to Las Vegas for the 2017 event. Still a long way to go. A lot of teams to come through. This year we're expecting 8,063 teams. And we are approaching 6,000 of those already through the doors here at the NBS. So 9th frame, again, 3,300 the number, 3184 to make the top 10. If I sound a little bit flustered on tonight's broadcast, we'll go ahead, go back and watch the beginning. Sometimes technology is no fun. Internet outage here in the western part of the U.S. Trying to fight through that here. The tournament running smoothly, however, today. Just not enough oomph to get the live broadcast out the door, so do appreciate everybody hanging in there, and hopefully we'll have an uneventful games 2 and 3, at least from my standpoint. Perhaps some excitement on the lanes. All right, so 10th frame now of game number 1. Ashley Bright and Zach Rhodes going to finish things off here for North Rock Lanes and BowersBowlingTour.com. So 182 for Rhodes, 187 for Ashley Bright. Of our top 10, high opening game of the year, 11:06. And the lowest opening game in the top 10 right now, 9:20. So there's still plenty of hope and plenty of time for a big performance here after game number 1.
I told Randy to let me know that he wanted something.
All right, 201 for Caitlin Quinn in her OC debut. Nice finish there for Hoope. 3 in the 10th to match Zwaska's 191. 178 for Yaya in her debut. Here's Bowers and Lewis in the 10th. Lewis wide right, missing the 9-pin. After the double, finishes with a 198. All right, final shots coming up. Prather working on 5 in a row. Lewis finished with 198. Bowers 202. Prather's string ends there. .238 for Prather. 10:04 start. That is solid. 9:52, not bad either for North Rock Lanes. And we'll have game 2 underway here. Just a moment. Rhodes and Bright gonna step up and try to make things happen here in 2016. If you're just tuning in, thanks for joining us. This is Matt Canizaro. We're behind lanes 19 and 20 here at the National Bowling Stadium. 2016 USBC Open Championships unfolding before your eyes. We're 1 month away from completion of our 129-day run here. Things started off on March 5th. Hard to believe, already June 10th. But thanks for tuning in. This is our final team broadcast of the year. And indefinitely overall. So we'll have one more coming up. On July 1st, USBC Hall of Famer Dave Husted and his team will be in for doubles and singles for our final broadcast of the year. Again, this year's event, March 5th to July 11th. But just this one team broadcast and one more doubles and singles. And then we will call it quits for 2016. But right now, it's all about North Rock Lanes and BowersBowlingTour.com. Thanks for tuning in. Nice start for these two teams. All right, so game 2 rolling here through the first frame. 3 for 3, clean for North Rock Lanes. 9:52 start. Looking for their first strike here in game 2. And BowersBowlingTour.com looking for its first spare in game 2. 3 strikes, pair opens. If there's anything to teach you at Wichita State, certainly it is how to be a team player, how to work together, communicate. And you see that anytime you watch the Shockers compete, always in the settee area, close to the approach. They're to watch ball reaction, watch each shot go down the lane, talk about what they're seeing, what's going on, making the moves, and that's how you get all of that success. Great shot there for Rischetti for the clean frame. The number they are trying to chase down, 3,300. BowlingDynamics.com got there with games of 10:41, 11:54, and 11:05. Van Daniker, number 1, second at 32.66. Who's Eddie Bird, our early leader here in 2016? That team includes USBC Hall of Famer Linda Barnes and reigning, or 2015 PWBA Rookie of the Year Stephanie Johnson at 32.41. They held on for quite a while. 4th place is Hornswogglers from Staten Island, New York, 32.37. Hornswogglers went on to take the Team All Events lead the next day at 97.19, so a nice springboard there. And rounded out the top 5, Simmons Team Sports at 32.24. To make the top 10, we have a tie for 10th place right now, 31.84. And if you're curious about the rest of the scores from this year's event in Reno, Nevada, you can visit bowl.com/openchamp. And either see the leaderboards in each event or type in your friends and family and see how they did using our individual results. A lot of good information on there about this year's event, including the lane conditions. Let's pull that up and take a look now. Got 2 patterns again this year, going back to 2013. Fresh oil for every squad. This year our team pattern is 38 feet in length, 26.7 mils. Doubles and singles pattern 1 foot longer and a little bit more volume, 39 feet, 27.6. And you can find the colorful graphs of those lane conditions again at bowl.com/openchamp. Click on the lane conditions tab on the right hand side menu. A lot of good information there. And if you want to take a look at this doubles and singles or team patterns, you can do that on the showcase lanes. Team practice sessions available on the 38-foot pattern, up to an hour. 2 lanes, $150 for you and up to 9 teammates. Nice run at the Greek Church there for Yaya. She gets 4, sorry. And these guys did take advantage of the showcase lanes earlier today. So a nice warm-up. Everybody in town. This team event at 5 o'clock, so plenty of time earlier in the day to come and check out the venue and get an hour in. Tough break there for Lewis after a great shot on lane 20. Another terrific shot, but the ultimate price, the 4.9. Showcase lanes, a good opportunity to talk about strategy, get equipment ready. I think for many of our bowlers, just the feedback from other bowlers who've already come to the Open Championships, as well as taking a look at the graphs. Get an idea of what equipment they'd like to bring. Then it's just a matter of, once they're here, adjusting the surfaces to get the right look at the National Bowling Stadium and how to handle this Kegel ice oil. Good start for both teams here. 1,004 for BowersBowlingTour.com, 952 for North Rock Lanes. Prather leading the way. Early 238 start for him. And a double here in game 2. Clean frame. Had some excitement earlier in the day in our doubles event. Mentioned that a few minutes ago. Two teams making a run at the lead. When it was all over, Deontay Fields and Matt Freiberg settled into second place at 1377. And Mike Marcus and Shea Bittenbender dropping down to fourth at 1353. Originally third on the early squad today. Our leader, Greg Thomas, and Chris Hill, 1401. Some excitement in singles 2 days ago. Matthew Gilman from South Florida made a run at that top spot held by Robert Burrs since March 15th. Gilman started with 290 and 279 and looked to be on his way for a huge set here in 2016. Started game 3 with 3 consecutive strikes before leaving a 10-pin, which a mental lapse meant an open frame for Gilman. And he stepped up in the 10th, needing all 3 strikes to tie the 8:15 mark set by Burrs. And Gilman got the first 2 and a little bit of a weak 10 on the final shot for 8:14. So our second 800 of the year, but that leaves him 1 pin back of a potential eagle in regular singles here in 2016. And our all events leader, Jacob Buttriff from Arizona, the young left-hander, 21-24. He was able to step up on his field ball and deliver a strike to sneak past Robert Burrs, who held the lead with 21-22. So a lot of drama on the lanes these last couple weeks. And team all events, top spot held by Hornswogglers at 97-19. Previous leader at BowlingDynamics.com, your team leader. They held the lead in team all events for just 24 hours. And that is your rundown. If you want any more details on the news and notes, visit bowl.com/openchamp. If you want to follow along daily, even when there's news that's not quite news, you can find it on the official Open and Women's Facebook page. A lot of great information there. Photos of the day, videos, even details on how to sign up for next year's events, whether it be the USBC Open Championships at the South Point Bowling Plaza in Las Vegas, or the USBC Women's Championships or USBC Mix taking place in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So just put up the information today about the mix for next year. Definitely check that out on bowl.com or the Facebook page. Links right to everything. Makes it easy. All you gotta do is sign up and join us on the tournament lanes. All right, so for BowersBowlingTour.com, Rhodes and Prather, both perfect so far. Prather trying to make it 3 in a row after a 2:38 start. So Prather's run ends at 2 with the 2-pin. Another nice frame for his team. As we near the halfway point of game number 2, we'll get ready to bring our special guest in to bring us into the finale. Both teams with some work to do, but that top spot definitely not out of reach. In our lowest first game in the top 10, 920 and 930. That's our tie for 10th place. They both followed that up with 1100 plus, however. Ashley Bright doubles up. Zach Rhodes perfect through 4. Terrific shot there by Quinn for the 3-bagger, former Junior Team USA member. And soon to be Mrs. Bowers. Yaya delivers her first strike here in game 2, a terrific shot. Hoope connects, so first 3 players for BowersBowlingTour.com doubling up here. Derek Lewis, no 4-9 that time, high flush. Bowers tickles the 2, but denied his first strike here in game 2. So a perfect fourth frame for North Rock Lanes. 4 out of 5 for Bowers at BowlingTour.com. See if Rhodes can stay perfect. And he does. Terrific shot for the 5-bagger. Ashley Bright trying to follow suit for 3 in a row. And she does. So both these teams looking comfortable here. Looks like that practice session today on the showcase lanes paid off. Doing work here on this 38-foot team pattern. We're watching the final Bowl TV team event from the 2016 USBC Open Championships here in Reno, Nevada. This is Matt Canizar behind lanes 19 and 20 at the one-of-a-kind National Bowling Stadium. Caitlin Quinn showing off for the cameras, delivering 4 in a row. Her team now 2 for 2 in the 5th frame. Bowers still unable to knock down all 10. Looking at his 4th consecutive spare here in a moment. Derek Lewis slaps out the 10 for the double. Just like that. We're about halfway done with today's team event. Thanks for tuning in. 3,300, the number on top of the standings. Definitely going to take some work. Seen some close calls, but BowlingDynamics.com able to hold on so far. Been leading for nearly a month. That team, 5 players age 50 and older. Terrific shot from Prather. He's 4 out of 5 here. 238 start. Rundown of game number 1. Bright 187, Quinn 201, Yaya 178, Lewis 198, Sketty 188, Rhodes 182, Zawashka 191, Hoope 191, Bowers 202, and Prather 238. The back half of game number 2 coming right up, and then of course our finale. Can either one of these teams make a run at 3,300 or the top 10, 3,184? Stay tuned. All right, folks, as we get into the back half of game number 2 here, a lot of strikes on the board, a couple of holes, but we will see what kind of magic we can make happen here for Bowers at BowlingTour.com and North Rock Lanes. Here's Brent delivering his first strike of game 2. And immediately communication happening between the teammates. That is the Wichita way, and that is how you find as much success as they have over the years. Obviously, besides having great talent, it's very important to keep an eye on things and communicate as the lanes transition. But right now, we are joined by Eric Nagel, Casa Grande, Arizona. And Eric making his Bowl TV.
Hi, Matt. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing super. Thanks.
So we have a unique opportunity here for you, as just the regular guy. We'll put it out there, and we've had a lot of past champions come on, 300 shooters, and but you've had the basic experience. You are the guy. You are our main demographic. So we appreciate you coming on and joining us here on Bowl TV to talk a little bit about your experience here at the Open Championships. Again, most folks at home won't know who you are until right now. This is your moment to shine.
My 15 minutes of fame.
And you've been at this now for 11 years at the USBC Open Championships, and doing everything right. And that's why we're having you on tonight, just to talk about the process and the experience, and just what it's like just to be part of the event, and just to give everybody the rundown here. You had some public affairs experience back in the Army. You mentioned that. Pro shop owner, so obviously know what's going on equipment-wise, and you bowled some PBA events and understand the top-level competition, what it takes to succeed at this event. And in our conversations, of course, you understand the history and tradition, and just the meaning of the banners over the lanes right now, and the Eagles, and just the whole package. And then your goal, of course, is to prepare your friends and family and teammates to come out and find success here at the Open Championships, to potentially get your name on one of those banners. But in order to do that, it all goes back to doing the work at home, getting ready, putting in the work on the lanes in the pro shop. Of course, that certainly helps when you are the pro shop owner, but also a frequent Bowl TV viewer, so get an idea of how things work there. And then going out and getting a game plan at home, coming into the venue early enough to be able to take advantage of the things on site, the practice lanes, the showcase lanes on the team pattern, which is 38 feet this year, the Bowlers Journal Championships, the 40-frame game. You've done it all. And again, not taking advantage of the VIP program or anything, just doing it step by step. So if you don't mind, share a little bit about your experience this year and what it takes to find the success and to come in here and after 10 years have a solid tournament average of about 190. And if you don't mind sharing a little bit about the tournament experience, we'll talk about the bowling going on here as well. Right now, Zach Rhodes working on 6 in a row, trying to make it 7, and a terrific shot, and he does. So the strikes are about to change colors here for Mr. Rhodes. They're going to get on the radio and call the media department, and how about that? We're already here to see it live and in person. So, Eric, how are things going tonight? And you've had a chance to watch a lot of bowling, do some bowling. Tell us all about it.
Well, we bowled last night, or yesterday afternoon team, and the pretty good crowd here because Pete Weber was here, Gary Dickinson was here, so that was pretty fun. Pete looked pretty tired, but he's had a pretty good last month and a half or so, and but that was a lot of fun. I've bowled some PBA stuff, so I've kind of been around some of those guys, but some of the people that are with our group, they they were kind of awestruck for a while, but it was a lot of fun. Didn't take advantage of the VIP program this year because the Bowlers Journal was kind of a last-minute decision to bowl, and then by the time we decided that and looked into the VIP, all the slots were gone. So probably get for Vegas next year. We'll probably get on that because it is a really good deal. But 40 framer, really happy to kind of see that go to a little more of a sport shot. It was Easy Street they had on, but it's kind of been a house shot the last few years. But that's kind of a fun tournament too. So it's nice to see it get onto a sport, more of a sport compliant pattern. As far as the main tournament, pretty much what I expected. I haven't bowled a whole lot the last couple years, so I'm pretty rusty. Missed a lot of easy spares, which is just insane. Because the strikes, if you don't get 10 guys on the pair working together, it's just really hard to score. These guys here, the first game, you know, they did it right. They were out to the right, and then as they started to open them up, you can see they're starting to strike a lot more X's up there.
All right, now as the organizer of the group and the leader, you know, and the veteran at 10 years, 11 this year, what kind of advice can you offer to your team members when they come in, and as far as understanding the event, and you as well, still trying to have that breakthrough performance and doing the work again? Everything you could possibly do to be ready for this event, you have done it, and we certainly appreciate the support there and the hard work as the organizer and keeping everybody in line. But what advice can you have before you even step on the airplane?
A lot of emails go back and forth. I try and get as much paperwork done ahead of time, and then I check all the teams in. We brought 3 teams this year, but I have all their cards, copies of their cards. I've got an Excel spreadsheet with all their addresses, phone numbers, social security numbers, everything that the USBC might need. It just makes it really easy if I have all that stuff. If I can get the green sheets done ahead of time, it just makes it so much easier to check in if I've got all that ahead of time, because I don't have to. What I do is when everybody gets here, then I have them call me or text me, let me know, and that way then I'll register the teams as soon as I know everybody's here. So if I got all that stuff done ahead of time, I don't have to track anybody down once we're here. And that makes it easier on me, a little less stress, so I don't have to scramble and make that, you know, kind of make those things happen. There was a guy that you had on in one of the other telecasts that had 34 teams here, and it's just, I can't even grasp that. How he could do that. He's got to have a lot of people helping him. So, but that'd just be insane, bringing that many people. I can't imagine.
Definitely a lot of hard work being a team captain of even one team, but we do appreciate it and everything involved. And again, for those of you at home, right now we'll have 8,063 teams this year, and you might read about 10 or 20 of them on bowl.com or Facebook, and you might see some of our top performers in videos and in news stories. And Zach Rhodes trying to become one of those news stories right now. He's got the front 7 here on lanes 19 and 20, trying to make it 8 in a row in just a moment. But for the rest of our teams and all of our dedicated bowlers, those are the ones who keep this event going as well. So it's definitely a tireless effort and a huge commitment. We've had 19 bowlers reach 50 years this year.
Yeah, I started pretty late. I did my first tournament. I was 46 when I started bowling tournaments, so the USBC. So I'm probably not going to make 50, or certainly won't make 71. But and that was kind of a sad story too. The guy that was 71, just in March, hit 71 years, and passed here a couple weeks ago. But a lot of history in this tournament. A lot of people. It's an annual vacation, or it's just an annual event. A lot of people schedule a lot of things around the tournament. So we had a meeting yesterday after we got done, trying to figure out when we're gonna go next year. Trying to work around. We got one guy that pole vaults for ASU, so we're trying to work around his schedule. Trying to work around people going to Ireland or India or somewhere next year, and a lot, vacations and graduations, and so it's just with the 15, 16 people that we do, it's a lot of work to try and just find dates.
Definitely a lot of pieces in the puzzle to make this Open Championships thing happen every year. Zach Rose trying to make things happen, and he comes up short there with the 9 count in the 8th frame. Again, his second appearance here at the USBC Open Championships, a 2015 Intercollegiate Team Champion at Wichita State, and well on his way, I am sure, to a long, successful career here at the OC, but guys like me, been at this nearly 20 years. I have a feeling my name never will appear on a banner here, but there's still something about walking down center aisle, the chance to see different places, reunite with teammates every year, all part of the Open Championship experience, not always about the prize money, and for a lot of us, not about the eagle either, as much as that would be a dream come true. I'm a realistic guy. I know that probably not going to happen for me, but the whole process and the whole experience is what it's all about. And for me, lucky enough that I get to meet guys like Eric Nagel here at the Open Championships and be out and about on the lanes and meet so many players and competitors and dedicated bowlers who tune into our broadcast and follow the news on Facebook and always chiming in, just want to say hello, and it's pretty neat. And we certainly appreciate the work. But Eric, again, you took advantage of everything that there is under one roof here at the NBS. And you know, we talked about the practice session. Bowers and company, they were down there this morning before their team event, just getting a last look at it. How did that help you guys prepare for your team event? And did any strategies that you came in with get proven correct, or did they have to change, or what was the situation there?
I actually added, I thought maybe outside, out around 4 or 5 board, pretty hard and straight might work. I tried it last night in team for a while. It worked for a while, but it just got really touchy. But the practice session really helped us as far as getting surfaces. And they were actually pretty close. I've heard people say they weren't that close, but for us they were real close. It was within a board or two. So they're doing a super job. Both sides. Keeping everything as close as possible. Doubles and singles in the bowler's journal. Broke down a little bit different because we were crossing, cross 3 pair there, but so they broke down a little bit different, but it was still pretty close. Might have been a little more back end over at the bowler's journal when we started than this morning here, but might have been a little bit surface touch up there too. So, but it's both the bowler's journal and the practice session really helped us fine-tune surfaces, get things where they needed to be, and then we came in and I think the Pete Weber thing really kind of shook some of our guys up because he was just a pair away from us. There was a pair in between us, and there was a lot of people here last night. There'd be close to 1,000 people, 500 people here last night. So they were a little nervous. Our first-time guy, he was a little nervous, and I tried to get him in here Wednesday when we got here, show him the stadium because he'd never been here, and because it's intimidating. First time. I remember my first time here in what was it, 07? It's even if you don't bowl, you should come and take a look at this place. And every time we come to Reno, we spend more time, seeing more of the city. Reno's kind of got a bad name with some of the people. A couple times we've come up, we have gone. I've scheduled this over spring break, and bring the family up. We'll bring my daughter up, and we'll go skiing one day over in Tahoe. Golf courses here are great. A lot of great restaurants. If you get up here and you don't eat an awful burger, why there's something wrong with you.
See,
so
now you're talking my game. That is my wheelhouse, and for the Open Championship experience, again, you mentioned all the topics. Folks come to this event for so many different reasons, and whether it's a vacation or the competitive opportunity or both, a combination, or to chase down those little orange eagles and the prize money, or a chance to experience a part of the country maybe that you hadn't seen before. And there really is nothing like walking down center aisle. You mentioned you had a first-timer, and your first time coming in 2006 in Corpus Christi.
Yeah.
One of my top 3 favorite cities in my career here with the OC. I'm fortunate enough to be able to be here the entire time and really take advantage of those opportunities. But it's a lot to pack into a few days, and you guys are here. You bowled this morning. So here later on in the day and taking in some bowling, and you mentioned the celebrity sighting with Pete Weber.
Yeah.
Something we're going to see quite a bit moving forward with our new rules for 2017. The Open Championships open to everybody, all USBC members. Really, that only means we're going to see about 30 people that we haven't seen in the past who were not eligible for this event. But I think every day, at least for me as a bowling fan, I still get a little bit starstruck seeing these guys come through, whether it's Pete Weber or, as you mentioned earlier, Sylvester Thiel, one of our journeymen here at the Open Championships. He never won a title, but he was here every year, 71 years in this year, tying the record, and unfortunately died at his home on May 31st. So as much as he was looking forward to number 72 and breaking that record, he will be immortalized right now on our participation wall with Bill Dorman and Joe Norris as our 3 gentlemen to reach 71 years. And again, for a lot of those longtime bowlers, it's not about the victory because they don't have titles here, and especially later on in life now, it's just about being with friends and family and taking advantage, bringing the family with you and doing that. But you've been here a few days now, and besides the bowling part of it, what have you guys gotten to do in Reno this time? You mentioned the city ever-changing, always new restaurants, and the river coming along with the redevelopment. They call it the renovation, so a lot to see and do here. But about half of your career has been at the National Bowling Stadium, and for me, it never gets old. Goosebumps never go away, and the emotions that you get watching people bowl well. We saw it twice today with 2 almost leaders. There's just something about it, the whole experience. But you've been here a few days, and what have you been able to do differently here in Reno this year?
We haven't really done a whole. I've actually spent a lot more time here in the stadium. We got here Wednesday night. Spent a lot more time here than I usually do. I guess I just wanted to watch more bowling this year, and it's kind of fun. You sit and watch and you watch the different squads and the lanes. It's amazing. They break down almost exactly the same, every squad, and you can sit in here and watch. You can sit watching, you can just say, okay, they're going to start ringing 10 pins, or they're going to start, washing out, or they're going to start leaving splits. And sure enough, that starts happening because you can just watch it's easy sitting back here watching the lanes transition, but down there, it's a lot harder. You go, geez, why did that do that? Why did that do that? So, but we haven't done a whole lot other, like I said, spent a lot of time here. I think we're going to go try and find a microbrewery. There's one in the old warehouse. I'll have to Google it again, see what the name of it is, but you can check that out. That sounds like a pretty fun place. And we're taking off back to Phoenix tomorrow, but it's sure nice to get up here and get out of the desert for a few days. The weather up here it's been breezy, but it's been just beautiful, low 80s. It's just the changes to the city and the improvements to the tournament. Like the check-in line, it was almost non-existent. And I remember in years past, it's backed up all the way to, if the lane was right there, you'd be back up 60 feet to the approaches. And it's just the improvements and the changes that the tournament, people are caring about the participants because they're changing things and making things easier and better. So, that gets us to keep coming back. Because we know people are trying to make things better and just constantly improving. So, and everybody here's just been great. The whole city's just everybody's been nice. I kind of look forward to coming to Reno. And everybody else that has kind of soured on it, they ought to come back and give it another chance because they've made a lot of changes here.
Well, always something different to see. You mentioned going up to Tahoe and doing some skiing, some other great cities nearby, Sacramento, San Francisco. But really, if you spend enough time walking around town, again, you mentioned having a beer or two later, some nice places nearby. One right next to the baseball stadium, actually called the Mellow Fellow, relatively new, and about 40 or 50 different kinds of beer there and some good food. And then definitely recommend a walk down by the river and checking out all those restaurants and the Sierra Tap House and some of those great opportunities there. Just even the scenery is pretty good now with the new bridge over on Virginia Street and a lot of history and tradition of the city celebrated there. So you really get a feel for the history of Reno. And of course, you mentioned the Awful Burger. That's a great way to end any evening in the biggest little city. But right now, game 2 coming to quite the end here for Bowers at BowlingTour.com. And we're seeing some pretty good bowling. And now Eric, you've had a chance to bowl. You saw bowling before you bowled, and now you're seeing some bowling afterwards. Some top players you might be familiar with from their collegiate success. But we're seeing a pretty nice performance here from Rhodes. He's going to be in the 270s. What can you offer to the folks at home about what you're seeing and what they're doing here as they get through game 2 and get ready for a potential shot at the lead here in game 3?
Well, they've definitely done their homework. When you're home, try and watch some of the bowl TV stuff, even if it's a couple years old. The shot doesn't change a whole lot from year to year. They tweak it a little bit, a foot longer, a foot shorter on the pattern, a little more, a little less on the milliliters for conditioner. So you can get a really good idea from year to year. Now next year they're not going to publish anything, so I don't expect it to change a whole lot. It seems like certain layouts work, every year. Every once in a while you can get a kind of a trick layout and get it to work for a while. Because even some pin-up stuff worked this year, which was kind of different. Most of the stuff we bring is pinned down. But these guys are definitely, the other thing is when you sit and watch, the balls look so much shinier just from the lights here. You sit there and go, geez, they're throwing shiny stuff, but it's not acting that way. Well, it's really not shiny, it's just the lighting. So, do your homework and watch the videos online. PB Extra Frame's really good to get on and listen to those guys talk about surfaces and layouts. You can learn a lot from those guys. So, if you want to bowl well, I've pretty much, like Matt, kind of given up the dream of the eagle, but it's always there. I've shot a couple 800s, and not the tournament, but the perfect storm. You always gotta hope for it.
I would say, talking to all of our champions, for me, going back to 2005 now, that's pretty much what has to happen. It's just being in the right place at the right time and the right pair of lanes and everything falling your way. And a lot of guys, I'll admit, I've never heard of prior to those days.
Yeah.
And that's what this event is all about. So I think before any of us found success, we were relatively unknown. And Jeff Riggles, before he had all of his titles, he was just a guy from Wisconsin. And Chip McKee, who actually works at the event here, prior to his title in 2014 or 2007, sorry, he shot 814. I didn't know who Chip was, but now he's on a very short list of champions here at this event. Everything fell into place for him, and pretty awesome. I think those stories are even better. Some guys you expect that they're going to come out and bowl well, but it's the guy who has the day of his life. That's what the Open Championships dream is all about. And maybe someday I'll be that guy, but my goal, my strategy is to find a team that will bowl well enough to take me along on their coattails. So
that doesn't happen very often. You got to pretty much get 5 guys that are all, you can catch a guy with a low 6 once in a while, or 580 or something, but you got to have a couple guys shoot 750 to do that. So, but it happens. You get a guy, you get a couple guys hot, and you can get a team that'll pull you along.
So especially in those team events and sometimes doubles, that's how the magic happens. I know we've made a lot of friends and seen a lot of people have that dream come true, and we're seeing a pretty solid performance here from BowersBowlingTour.com here in game 2, 278 for Zach Rhodes. Zwaska 212, and now Hoope with 280. So things are rolling along.
Snuck that in there, didn't he?
So quietly getting it done in the 3 spot there. And we've got a huge game here in game 2. And
yeah, if Brent and Kris can finish this off, why? They'll be in really good shape.
And the opportunity to see these moments unfold on Bowl TV. Pretty awesome. I think someday I will write my memoirs and share some of my favorite moments from over the years. We've seen some big scores and just some very emotional performances. And now with the opportunity to Facebook Live, we did that a couple times this week, and saw Matt Gilman make a run at regular singles, saw a couple shots at the doubles lead, and I'm just really proud to be able to bring that to you on whatever platform is out there. And I do appreciate everybody who stops by and says hello. Thank you for the broadcast. And
well, I'm gonna miss them. I know that. So hope maybe record them and play them later after the tournament's over or something like that. That'd be great. Just kind of keep that tradition alive, maybe. But
well, this is a pretty unexpected test run of that opportunity right now, with some internet issues here earlier in the broadcast. If you missed those, you didn't miss too much. But we're pressing the record button tonight and seeing how we can work this out, get it out of the hard drive, and get it up on YouTube as maybe a possibility down the road as well. So exploring different platforms to get the news and notes out there starting in 2017. 3 divisions, so there's going to be a whole lot more to cover and talk about. And we'll have some new Facebook pages coming up here in the next couple weeks, so keep an eye on that. And of course, always check out bowl.com for all the news and notes. And again, even at 113 years old, this event, we're always trying to make things better and make the experience better for all of our bowlers. Not just any particular demographic, but we want everybody to have a memorable time on the tournament lanes. And that includes the expansion of our participation program in recent years. 20-year awards now available, chevrons for 21 through 25. And of course, listening to the feedback and looking at the numbers, and now coming back with 3 divisions in 2017, something that most bowlers would agree probably has been needed for a while, but a chance to allow us to reach out to our missing demographic, kind of that 185 to 210 bowlers. Now there's a place for everybody.
And that's really where I was kind of hoping I was going to end up, but my tournament average is, I think, sport adjusted is 216 or something like that, so I'll be in that upper divisions, which just means I'm going to have to practice a little bit. So, but it's good, it's motivation. And I think out of the 9 games that I saw Pete Weber bowl, I beat him 4 of them. So, like I say, he looked tired, and I think he was, he's used to the PBA lane etiquette, and it's 1 lane here. I think that maybe threw me a little bit too, but he did all right. He definitely kicked my fanny because I just missed too many spares, but I did beat him 4 games, so I can go home and say, hey, I beat Pete Weber 4 games out of 9. So.
Well, and of course the Open Championships experience, you get 1 shot at it every year, so there's no do-overs. 3 games of team, 3 games of doubles, and 3 games of singles, and 1 all events total. And you think about it for an entire year. You come out, you're strategizing as soon as the information comes out, and it goes so fast. You wait a year, you get here, and it's over, and you're already thinking about next year.
Well, and there's been a couple years I've put a pamphlet together that actually showed like how they put the oil down for a house shot and how they put sport patterns down and why it's why your ball reacts different. I've had guys stand there and they'll miss a spare and they'll come back, well, that's where I stand at home. Well, yeah, you can't do that on a sport shot. But
all right, so Bowers and company, solid game number 2. 1178. Big game 2. 1060 for North Rock Lanes. We're going to do some quick math here and see what it's going to take to crack the top 10 here and possibly make a run at the lead. So we could have some excitement here on Bowl TV. And Eric, you're here to see it unfold.
Yeah. Well, they need 11. Is it still 3,300 leading?
Yes, sir.
So they need, 11-19?
So 11-18 to tie, 11-19 to take the lead. And a nice performance overall for North Rock Lanes as well. Again, the leader, 3,300, top 5, 32-24. And to make the top 10, 31-84. And if you're just tuning in, this is Matt Cannizzaro live at the National Bowling Stadium 2016 USBC Open Championships two solid teams of former collegiate standouts, some very former, part of the 2015 National Championship at Wichita State. And we're joined by a special guest, Eric Nagel from Arizona. 11 years in at the Open Championships, hard-working team captain, and really came out and took advantage of the Open Championships experience. Did everything there is to do under the roof here at the National Bowling Stadium, and of course had the chance to spend time with friends and family, enjoy the host city, and really make it a well-rounded experience here in 2016. I haven't asked you about the bowling part of it necessarily. A lot of times we don't want to talk about scores. We just want to talk about all the off-lane memories and the things that we got to do and the people we got to spend time with, which is okay. Again, our motto in the media department, the scores, they're going to be forgotten. The money's going to get spent. But the memories and the Eagles, in some cases, they're going to last forever.
That's right. And the new friendships, it's always neat to come and just look at the different cities and states and countries that people are from. And you end up meeting friends. And if you come the same weekend every year, you see some of the same people. And so it's really, it's a neat thing. You get to, like I say, meet people from all over the country and learn about different parts of the country maybe you haven't been to. And yeah, it's always what could have been with the bowling sometimes, but maybe every time for some of us. But so, I've had my good tournaments. I think I had 18. I mean, for me, 1870 something one year, and this year was pretty. I had like 3 150, 160 games, brought me down into the high 16s. So, but it's just the way it is. Miss a transition and throw a couple opens, and strikes are usually hard to come by. And our group, it's tough to get our group to work together to break down the lanes. I try to, and I got a few of the guys that have signed on, but some of the guys are, they're set in their ways. They're going to throw up second arrow or whatever, but that's all right. I mean, we bowl the best we can and have fun, and it's kind of what the tournament's here for us now.
Well, we'll definitely give you a chance to try again next year and the year after that. Hopefully learning with each event and being able to teach your teammates and understand the experience, even the first-timers. Nothing like the first-time jitters here, but those never go away. Even talking to our 50-year guys, still getting the butterflies walking down center aisle each year.
Yeah, and like I say, yesterday it was a buzz with Gary Dickinson and Pete Weber here. There were a lot of people up in the stands, and that's good. It's fun to see a lot of people. It's fun to bowl in front of a lot of people. So, and it's a good experience for everybody, even if you're a little nervous.
Well, I'm wondering right now if Brent Bowers and his team are nervous. They were 5 for 5 in frame number 1, and they need 11-18 to tie the top spot in the team event. 11-19 to get the lead all to themselves. 3,300 is the number. Games of 1,004 and 1178 for a 2182 total.
They sure don't look nervous now. Give them another 7 or 8 frames, they might tighten up a little bit. I don't know. They look like they're having fun. They look like they're in command of their games. They understand what the lanes are doing. So I fully expect them to give this a really, really good run. Unless that third game transition gets them.
Well, 6 for 6 so far in game 3. And now I'm trying to strategize in my head on how this is going to unfold for me. Obviously, we're here recording on YouTube, which may or may not see the light of day after today. Of course, we have the Facebook Live as an option to get it out there to the world. So I'll spend the next 2 or 3 frames trying to figure out my game plan here, and then maybe make a run for it here as we get to the exciting conclusion of game number 3. But right now, Justin Zwaska trying to make it 7 for 7, and fortunate to get the 10 out. So no washout there for Justin. But mathematically, it sure goes away quickly. 11-18 doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're taking away, in that case, 20 pins on one shot, it certainly can't disappear fast. So we will see this is what it's all about, though. And we're talking about 10 young players here. USBC and the bowling world very focused on youth bowling and a future for the sport. And this is our next generation of perhaps PBA champions or Open Championships ambassadors.
Yeah, and all 10 of these people are doing a really good job. You got, the girls on the other team are pretty much down and in. And you got some of the guys throwing some pretty good revs, so, and swinging it left to right now. And so for everybody to keep it going, it's, the talent's right there. You can see it, so it's great.
A good mix of players as well, and we've seen that in recent years with our defending Team All Events champion, Junior Team USA Support. They have a couple lefties, a couple ladies, and some higher rev players, but the ladies generally are going to play a little bit farther to the right, so it all helps in the transition and the game plan, and whether or not it was intentional appears to be working so far today for BowersBowlingTour.com as well.
Well, sounds like you got some stuff to do, Matt, so I can let you go and stand back here and watch. I know you got, especially if these guys start taking a run at it, I know you got a lot of things to do, so.
All right, well, Eric Nagel, thanks for joining us today here on Bowl TV, and we appreciate you and all of our bowlers here at the Open Championships, and hope it was another great experience for you in 2016, and maybe you're already thinking about 2017?
Thinking about it. South Point, looking forward. I haven't been in the new 60 lane center, so looking forward to that. I've seen it on some of the extra frame videos and some of the bowl TV videos too. So looking forward to that, and Vegas is always nice too. A lot of things to do in Vegas. A lot of good golf, if you golf. A lot of good buffets. Hoover Dam's there. It's always fun to go down the bottom of the dam. So, and then looking forward to Syracuse in 18. Really looking forward. I've never been to New York, so I'm really looking forward to going to Syracuse.
All right, well, as we roll into those two events, remember, I would imagine looking at your score sheet, you're probably through 12 strikes in an event this year, so all you got to do is put those 12 together in one game, and that would be the moment that we talked about earlier, and I look forward to having you fill out the paperwork and that interview that will follow. So
that'd be nice.
Every year we come here with a dream, and there's no reason that it can't happen on that day.
Perfect storm.
All right, Mr. Nagel, thanks for joining us tonight, and we will catch you next year at South Point Bowling Plaza in Las Vegas. Thank you, sir.
You bet, Matt. Looking forward to seeing what you guys do for all the public relations stuff and the videos and that, and so it'll be interesting to see what the decisions are made there. So thanks a lot.
Thank you. Keep up the hard work, and we will see you next year.
Take care.
All right, folks, we're settled in for game number 3. Always nice to chat with one of our players and the competitors who make this thing happen for us every year. Millions of bowlers over the years. And a lot of work goes into the process, and nice to see Eric and his teammates take advantage of everything here at the MBS. But right now, let's watch North Rock Lanes and BowersBowlingTour.com trying to make a run at it here in 2016. 11-18 is the number, 11-19 to take the lead, 3,300. And we'll have frame number 3 coming up in just a minute. Stay tuned. Have a moment for the station identification, and the rest of game 3 coming right up. All right, folks, trying to get our strategy ready. See how we can pull this off here. Right now, BowersBowlingTour.com needing 11-18 to tie for the top spot here at the 2016 USBC Open Championships. Nearing the halfway point of game number 3. $1,004, then a huge 1178 in game 2. Mitch Hupe leading the way with 280 in game 2. Zach Rhodes 278. Still some pretty wild possibilities here. We appreciate everybody tuning in, taking advantage of all technologies here. North Rock Lanes, 952 and 1060. Staying relatively clean here in the finale. Here's Rhodes, 182, 278. And 4 out of 5 here in game 3. Justin Zwashka stepping up on lane 20. Trying to make it 4 out of 5 as well. Terrific shot. So if you're just tuning in, perfect timing. BowersBowlingTour.com making a run at that 3,300 number put up by BowlingDynamics.com nearly a month ago. Tough spare here for Hupe, looking at possibly back-to-back open frames. A lot of talk about that game 3 transition here in the team event with this Kegel Ice Oil. It tends to happen a little bit later than in the past. And for some teams, maybe 2 or 3 transitions. And some observant fans nearby notice these team members looking at different equipment, taking out balls, kind of thinking about that transition, trying to stay ahead of the moves. As Hupe with the back-to-back open frames. Bowers trying to get things back on track here. But, that's part of the allure and the mystique of this event, that everything has to go right for you. Sometimes it means making a prediction, and then you got to stick with it. Sometimes it's going to pay off, sometimes not so much. Here we are, 5 frames to go. Big shot from Bowers. 202, 193 so far tonight. step it up here in game 3. So still a little too early to do the calculations. Just at the halfway point. 2 holes on the board. Great shot there by Rischetti. This is our final team broadcast of the year here at the 2016 Open Championships, and shaping up to be a terrific one. Kris Prather and Brent Bowers finished 3rd in regular doubles last year. Of course, all these players, collegiate success at Wichita State. It was a very easy selection for the live stream schedule. We backed off a little bit this year, just had about a dozen or 13. We've had some pretty exciting moments, and again, things looking good here for Bowers at bowlingtour.com. Leader 3,300 to make the top 10, 31.84. And of course, the big picture team all events, 97.19 plus 719 is the number to beat. So get all you can here in the team event. Get some momentum going into doubles and singles tomorrow. So 11-18 to tie, 11-19 to secure the lead. Finished 15th in the team event last year. 31.85 was their number. And well on their way to topping that here in 2016. Another great shot by Hupe, back on it after the pair of opens. Still got a couple hundred pins to play with here with 4 frames to go. And Bowers delivers. 7 goes late. 5 out of 6. Everybody looking relatively calm so far. They've thrown the big shots before, even on TV with Wichita State. So just talking through it right now. What they're seeing on the lanes is Derek Lewis with the PBA washout. Prather delivers 4 out of 5 for Bowers at bowlingtour.com here in the 6th. These guys will be back on the lanes tomorrow at 9 a.m. local time, at noon Eastern. So we'll certainly keep an eye on them for team all events. And you guys keep an eye on the official Open and Women's Championships Facebook page for any news and notes. And you can visit bowl.com/openchamp to take a look at the leaderboards once they are done competing. Here's Rhodes looking for 3 in a row. And he gets it. These guys are going to get fired up here. Definitely calm and collected right now. Also bowling on this squad on the far end of the National Bowling Stadium. We do have a full house tonight, lanes 1 through 58. With the 2008 regular team champs of Team Tilt. Also, the Wichita connection, Jay Futrell, Joe Keltner, Russ Wilson, their buddy Thomas Alt Jr., and Chris Green, 5th member of that team, not in attendance this year. Terrible break there for Zwaska on the 9-pin. Also on that pair, Crystal Wilson, first woman to roll an 800 at the USBC Open Championships. So a lot of history and connection there. And we'll bring it all back around here to lanes 19 and 20. This is Matt Cannizzaro. Continued coverage of tonight's 5 p.m. team event. Bowers at bowlingtour.com making a run. And a legitimate chance here with 3.5 frames to go. They need 11-18. 11-19 will get them the lead all to themselves. 3 bowlers on 270 pace here through 6 frames. Double there from Hoope, member of Team Canada. Just 2 holes on the board. Strikes piling up. Still big numbers possible. essentially put this guy out of reach with a month to go. Of course, you never know, no matter how big the score. We've learned that lesson many times over. But you can't win unless you take the lead. Brent Bowers trying to make that happen. Bowers mentioned a new bowling ball arsenal as of June 1st. Looking pretty comfortable so far here tonight, 202, 193. But really coming through in the finale here for his team. And another great shot, slaps out the 10. Prather wasn't sure about that one, but it came way back and dead flush. So that'll loosen up the arm swing a little bit. These guys have worked hard tonight through 2 games, 10-04, 11-78, and now looking like they are satisfied with getting through the transition of this 38-foot oil pattern. Prather with a lot of room there on lane 20. See that lane one more time. They're going to finish on lane 19. Got the calculator out. 3 frames to go. We need 11-18 to tie. 11-19 to be the leaders. Zach Rose delivers the 4-bagger. Leadoff guy talking to the rest of the team. Making sure everybody's on the same page here. Making the moves. Caitlin Quinn with the strike, 2 for 2 for North Rock Lanes. Let's not forget about them putting up a good number here tonight. Anytime you're flirting with that 3,000 number at the Open Championship, you gotta feel pretty good about your performance. And Justin can't get the 10 pin to go. Still plenty of room as we get down to the foundation frame here. Of course, you want to get all you can, put it out of reach, but first step is getting to that top spot. Uncooperative 7-pin for Hoope. Looked a little fast on that shot. And just couldn't get him to mix up. Still well more than 100 pins to work with. In the final two frames, Bowers and Prather both working on strings here. With all those strikes up there, 11-19 doesn't seem like that tall of a task. And Bowers can't get the 10 to go. So great shots being thrown here in the 8th frame, but carry not on their side, losing a few sticks there. Well, what started as an average night on the lanes and pretty frantic night here in the Bowl TV booth. Things definitely heating up. Bowers miscue in the 8th frame. Still max score of 1260. Prather looking for 5 in a row. Big shot here. Prather, no stranger to success here at the NBS. 818 in his debut in 2011. Finished 2nd in regular singles. Now leading the way tonight. 238, 215. All right, foundation frame coming up, Zach Rhodes. One more time for the youngster. And these guys will be back on the lanes tomorrow at 9 a.m. to see if they can make a run at team all events as well. Right now, unofficially max score 1260. Big performance these last 2 games from Rhodes. See if Zwaska can get back on track here. And another missed single pin for BowersBowlingTour.com. Giving away a few sticks there. Do the unofficial math once again. We had a little bit of room. .1238, still a possibility. Great shot there from Hoope. They need a big 10 frame. See if Bowers can shake off the missed 10 pin. Do what he did on the way to 2 national titles at Wichita State, 2008, 2010. Bowers 10 back. There's Prather working on the 5-bagger. Big shot here. All right, rolling along here in the 10th frame. It's happening, folks, here on Bowl TV. BowersBowlingTour.com. Trying to get it done here at the National Bowling Stadium in 2016. 265 for Zach Rhodes. 213 max here for Zwaska. unofficially 12-26 still possible. They need 11-19 to get the lead to themselves. Another terrific shot. All right, here's Waska. 213 max score. They've got some room. All right, we've got a special dual broadcast here for BowersBowlingTour.com. Bowl TV and Facebook Live simultaneously as we watch these guys make their move here, try to get to that 3,300 number to get to the lead. And there's still some room out there. So far, games of 1,004 and 1178. Huge game 2. And on pace again here in game 3. We'll calculate the max score for you here in just a second. And get to 12:06 with a fill ball and 2 bowlers to go. We'll take a look at the scoreboard in just 1 second. 11-18 to tie. 11-19 to take the lead, and you're watching it here on Bowl TV and Facebook Live simultaneously. Never done before here at the USBC Open Championships. Fill ball, Mitch Hoope, 203. He had 280 in game 2 to lead the way in that 11-78 effort. Zach Rhodes, solid in games 2 and 3, 278, 265. Real quick, we'll take a look at the scoreboard as we wait for Brent Bowers to step up. And there it is. They've already cleared 32-38 with 2 bowlers to go. 1,200 plus still out there. Get locked in here. Here's Bowers. Another terrific shot, folks. Looks like we are on our way to new team leaders here at the National Bowling Stadium, lanes 19 and 20. 11-18 to tie, 11-19 for the lead, 3,300 the number. Do appreciate everybody tuning in on Bowl TV and Facebook Live. Unique opportunity here as the crowd gets quiet here at the NBS. Bowers, shot number 2. Goes high, leaves the 4-pin. Now it's a matter of get what you can. Get to 11.95 with Prather stepping up in the 10th frame. That would give them 33.77. All right, here's Prather lead. It's happening, folks. 32.87. It's a done deal. It's a matter of how much are they going to get and will it hold up for one more month. Prather on the lane. 10, no problem. Unofficially 33.77 to Max. There's a look. Already the leaders cleared 3,300. Folks tuning in from all over. John Trubinski, Mark London, Kim Bauer, Tyson Brannigan, Jessica Abel. These guys doing Wichita proud here in 2016, putting up quite a number for the rest of our teams to shoot at. We've seen about 6,000 of our 8,063 teams. Here's Prather one more time in the 10th. 2 for 2, and he's going to be in the 270s, folks. $11.95 possible score. 33.77 is what they can get to. And you are watching it here on 2 live streaming platforms. Kris Prather, lead secure. Why not 10 more? Wide right, makes it back, slaps the 10. And they are celebrating here on lanes 19 and 20 at the NBS. New leaders, 33.77. Zach Rhodes, Justin Zwaska, Mitchell Hupe, Brent Bowers, Kris Prather. We'll have a rundown of the sets here in just a minute. Zach Rhodes, 725. Justin Zwaska, 616. Mitch Hupe, 674. Brent Bowers, 630. Kris Prather, 732 unofficially. But the total, that is not unofficial. That is the real deal, folks. 33.77 new leaders at the 2016 USBC Open Championships. Nice night for North Rock Lanes as well. They get to 29.06. We'll have the recap for you on bowl.com later tonight. We do appreciate everybody tuning in to Bowl TV and here on Facebook Live. Once again, Bowers at bowlingtour.com gets it done. Grinding out game number 1, 1,004. And then 1178 and 1195 for the huge finish. Kris Prather, 279 in the finale. Zach Rhodes, back-to-back games here, 278, 265 after a slow start. That is what it's all about. We'll hear from our new leaders here in just a minute. We'll have a recap for you on bowl.com later on. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in here on Bowl TV and Facebook Live. Once again, 33.77, the new standard here at the 2016 Open Championships. This is Matt Cannizzaro. That's the news for now. We'll see you on the lanes.